Okay, here's the Mackie Mac.
Get your blabbling hand out of the way.
Mark right there. Yeah, we got a line up here where I'm that mark right there, and there's a DVD around over here. We don't know why it's over there, but that's where the DVD.
Okay, we're over here at my buddy's car. You probably remember this car. I cleaned this is that 2005 Cherokee when I cleaned the intake manifold and what's it called, the butterfly there, and did some maintenance work to it. We put plugs in it and stuff like that. His wife just had problems with it, just making all kind of clatter, and I came over here to check it out to see what's going on, and took the valve cover off here, and you can see, if I get this on the camera here, all the hydraulic lifters here, they don't have any oil going to them. You see they're real loose. We just had this thing running, so these should be pumped up. And then I noticed some metal shavings right over here on this cap. And if you look at this cap, I took this cap off, and you see all that metal shavings in there. The whole thing is not getting oil, and it's just grinding up on the cam. So here's the cap right here. You see it's bone dry, and it's all, you know, torn up. It just, the whole top end on the cam is not getting oil. And I don't know if this is both sides yet, because we haven't taken the other side off, but I know that this whole, like this lifter here is loose, and they're all clattering. This one's loose, not pumped up. There's no oil getting to the top. Now here we have the last oil change receipt that she did. This was back in February. You see the date there. Did the signature oil change, and there's the oil filter, how much oil and everything. Now this was like 3 months ago. She got all this work done. So now look at this oil filter here. Does that look like an oil filter that's been changed 3 months ago? To me, that oil filter there doesn't look like it's been changed in a long time. So we're going to pull this oil filter off and see if there's a part number on it, to see if it matches up to the part number. I think this is one of the part numbers here on this paper. This number here. So we're going to see if that number matches up to that filter, or if we get any kind of numbers like that. And we're going to inspect this oil filter better to see if it's not totally clogged, and that's why this thing is not getting oil up here. The engine runs good. It has no, you know, major knocking. It's just all the lifters are clattering and squeaking and everything, because it's bone dry up here and the camshaft is all scarring up. So now we're going to pull that filter off and inspect it better. Alright, we took the filter off. It is the same part number, L195, but let's look at this filter real good here. Now, 3 months. Does that look like a filter that's been on a car for 3 months? Look at the buildup on it. It just, to me, it doesn't look like a filter that's been on a car for 3 months. But we turned it over here, and it has this date on it, 2/13/16, and then it's got some other number, 1923. So I don't know if they just wiped it and wrote that on there, because it sure doesn't look like a filter that's been on there for
90 days.
3 months. To me, it doesn't. I know, at least on my vehicles, when I change my oil, truck been on, you know, 2 months, or, you know, it don't look like this. It doesn't have no buildup like that on it, a bunch of oil buildup. I don't know. But we're gonna inspect this a little bit further.
Plus, when we pulled it off, hardly any oil came out of it.
Well, yeah, I don't know why that is. There's hardly any oil in it, so maybe we got other problems, or something wrong with this filter. Is it clogged? Or we're going to cut it open and see what happened to it. but there is a date on it. But you know, they could have just wiped that and wrote this on there. Just doesn't look like a filter that's been on there for 3 months. It's kind of dirty. We're going to open it up and see how the filter looks inside to see if it's been on a car for 3 months. Because if it's really nasty and dirty on the inside, then we'll know for sure. So that's what we're going to do next. Alright, we got the oil filter apart. Now I'm kind of lost because I don't know, but what do y'all think? Is this a 3 months old oil filter? I mean, it's not collapsed or anything. It looks kind of, I don't know. It doesn't, to me. I mean, I don't know. To me, it just looks old. And you see a bunch of stuff build up right here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Let's see, can we, what is that? Not when we cut it. But that could have been, yeah, that's probably where we cut it. Feels stiff. It just, I don't know. Let's look inside it. We see inside it there. I don't know if it was a 3 month old oil filter or not, but just wanted to look inside to see what we're working with here, and that's what it is. So now I don't know. Alright, well, that's that. Okay, we were messing with the engine some more, and we started cranking it without the oil filter on. You see, we took the oil filter off. I don't know if you can see that down there. We took the oil filter off and cranked the engine by taking the ignition things off, and we cranked the engine and no oil comes out of the, I mean, it should pump some kind of oil out. So now we're thinking the oil pump went out, so we're going to get into the bottom of the van and check the rods, see if any of them are messed up. Okay, got the oil pan off and everything. Wanted to check the rod bearings since we think it's the oil pump now. The oil pan, getting it off was, man, a pain in the butt. But I wanted to check one of the rods, and I took this cap off right here. You can see, because now I'm thinking it's the oil pump that's going bad. And this rod is the second from the last. I just got that one because it was easy. But here's the bearing here. It looks exceptionally good for especially for a car that's got 150,000 miles on it. But you can see there, no damage from if it, you know, was low on oil. So I'm not going to pull all of them off because it wasn't knocking, but I just wanted to check one of them, and it looks pretty good. So I think these bolts here are torque to yield, so probably have to get new bolts to put those in there. And then we're just going to keep that like that, and put, you know, I guess go for the oil pump. We're going to pull all that front stuff off, and then put the oil pan back on last. Alright, here's a closer look at that rod bearing. Cleaned all the oil off. I mean, look at that rod for 150,000 miles, that bearing on this. I mean, it looks really good. There's a little wear, I mean, a little bit right here on the edges, but that's nothing. I mean, for a truck that has, what, 150,000 miles, these almost look like they've been replaced somewhere down the line. But no damage if they're, or, you know, got low oil from there. It's just the top end. So I'm not going to pull, like I said, I'm not going to pull the rest of these off. I just wanted to inspect one. It's not knocking or anything. I just wanted to get a closer look on this thing. But you can see how good that bearing is. I mean, it's just really good. Nice bearing. So I'm sure the other ones are fine. We're just going to put this back on, and then we're going to tear off that whole front, what's it called, water pump housing thing. So that's what we're going to do next. Alright, got all that plate off, and now I can see all the timing stuff and everything, that whole front plate for the water pump housing and everything. And it said to get these marks to line up. There's one little mark here, and it's supposed to be with these two dark spots on the chain. It's supposed to be at the top or something with that little mark there or something, but I couldn't get all that to line up, so I just put this keyway here at the top, and then I got my marker and marked this thing here and the chain right there at this point. So I took pictures and everything, so when I put it back together, I'm just going to line it back up exactly like I have it here and put that gear exactly back where it is, and don't move this or anything, or move any of the other timing. And then you got to, and once you get all those gears out of the way, you got to get to this plate here, and then we're going to get to the oil pump, which is in the back there. You can see the oil pump. It's in the back there. You got to take this tension off of here and get all them gears out of the way. So we're going to do that, and hopefully I can get it back on exactly like I took it off. And this plate here we took off, that water pump housing and all that, there's a bolt behind the tensioner, so if you're going to do this work here, you got to take that tensioner, the belt tensioner, this is where the belt tensioner mounts, you got to take that off because there's a bolt behind it. And then of course it's I just went ahead and took all the water pump bolts out, and then all these here on the bottom, you know, there's one there, all these here, and one there, and that one can stay, and all those. I just went ahead and went around the whole thing. You see all the bolts there, but there was one behind this tensioner. You got to take the tensioner off to get to that bolt, and the whole thing comes out. Alright, well, we took it all apart, took all the timing gears and all the tensioners and all the guides and everything out, because the way I was going to do it, I watched a video on YouTube, and this gear was the guy pulled this gear here off all these gears here, and that's the way I thought it would come out, but put some pressure on this and it wouldn't come off. And I don't know what the deal is with why his comes apart from these gears here, comes out of this hub. He slides it right off of this hub and slides it back on, and that's the way I wanted to do it, so I didn't have to mess with all this timing. But then we just decided to go ahead and change all the guides. They're got some wear on them, but might as well do it all. So we took it all apart, and we know where the timing is because it has marks. So it's these two marks here, and those line up. There's this little mark here, that one there lines up with a mark that's on this gear here somewhere. Let's see, where's that mark? There's little white dots on this, these right here, and so that just goes back in. And then we set the timing. This is at 2 o'clock, and then the dot here is at the bottom, and then the camshafts and everything. So when we get to all the parts, we'll just throw all that brand new stuff in here, the guides. We're going to get new chains and all that, and then we're going to clean this all up real good, and we're going to get a new oil pump. We did find some trash, some kind of it looks like some kind of aluminum shaving or something in the oil pump, or the, what's it called, the bypass. Let me get that. Okay, here's the oil pump. We took it apart, and I don't know if you can see back there on this plunger, this is the bypass in here. There's something stuck to the top of it. You can see that, and there's some trash in there, and I don't know what is stuck on top of that plunger, but I pushed it down, and then you can see on the sides of the plunger at the very top there's something scraping on it. So something got jammed in that plunger, and if you can see that right on the top of it, there's something in there, and it's really stuck to it. It won't move. So I'm kind of thinking that this plunger got stuck open, and it was just bypassing, and it wasn't getting oil. So hopefully that was it, but we're gonna find out when we get all the new parts and clean all this up and get it all back in time, and then move from there. I don't know what else to do. That's all, you know. That's the only thing I can see that something happened was there's, you know, I was gonna pull this plunger here thing out, but I just decided not to. I can see that it has something there. If I can zoom in on that real good, you can see something is stuck on the top of that plunger, and there's some debris that's in there, and I tried to scrape it off and it's really stuck on there and wedged on the top. If you push the plunger down, you can see that it's something scraping on the top of it. So I don't know what it is, but that's not right, I can tell you that. So then we're gonna finish this thing up and keep on working with it. Alright, we got all the parts in the mail. Got the brand new, well, it's not, I don't think it's a brand new water pump. I was looking at it. Looks like a remanufactured pump, but it's a pump that we know that should be working. So, and then we got the water pump. Got the water pump that comes with the O-ring and everything. And then we got all the timing, the chains, the tensioners, and the hydraulic tensioner things, and all the guides, of course. Comes with all that. So we're going to start putting this all on. I'm going to start with this. Going to prime it up, put some oil in this thing, and get it. Make sure it's got oil inside of it. And start cleaning up the where this mounts here, and inspect it all real good. Got a new O-ring there, and get that on. And we're back. Okay, well, we got all yeah, we got all the timing on the marks. Got all the new tensioners in. These are in. We didn't put the little hydraulics yet. We're gonna fix to do that. Got the tops all lined up. These marks, you can see they go right there with the black dot there, and same on this side with the black dot there. Then it's a white dot here, two black there, and then inside there, let me get the light on it for you. If you see them gears back there, it's man, I can hardly see that. It's that little dot you see at the bottom there. Let me try to zoom in. And then there's two white dots on that gear back there. You got to line those up. And then there's some in here that you can't see, but you'll see a little white mark, and you line those two black dots in between that line, that tooth that has the white mark that's down over here. And then over here I scratch this. That's where the other two black and black there just go just like this, black and black, and you line those up, and then all that's lined up. So we got all that, and we're going to put the tensioners, the hydraulic tensioners here and there, and squirt some oil on it and rotate it and double check everything probably, and
we got to pull those pins.
Pull those pins out, you know, once you get the hydraulic tensioners on and everything. It's coming along good. We got to clean this up here a little bit better, because I don't know if that gasket's going to seal there. It's kind of crusty. I need to get something to clean that off. Then we're just going to go around and clean all that up, you know.
Just hit it with a little bit of metal sandpaper.
Something, just to clean it up. And I guess we'll come back. Alright. Alright, we got it all in time. We got the chains all oiled up, put a little oil on them, you know, and everything. Cleaning this thing here around here. Got to clean it off, I guess. Timing was a pain, because this gear, like the guys on YouTube, they take this gear off these other gears, but we had to put all these gears and all this and then get it all lined up. But yeah, we got it, and then we got the tensioners put in now, and it's all on time, rotated it one time around. We're just gonna put that other thing on there, and I guess hopefully it don't leak. Okay, we're making progress. Got all the front on. What we did with first test, we didn't put the oil filter there, but you can see all the oil came out. We cranked it, and it didn't take too long before oil started pumping out. So it was the oil pump, and we got all the front cover and everything on. We cranked it to try to prime it, and we were cranking on it some, and battery went dead, but I don't know if it, primed it enough. I'm going to charge the battery and prime it some more and crank on it some more. I want to at least see oil come up here to the top, and we're just going to get a charger and charge the battery. But it was the oil pump, because we put the oil pump on there and didn't run it with the filter on there, and cranked it a couple times, and oil come flying out of there. And you see that's how much oil come flying out of there. So then I filled up that filter and put that filter on, and sat there and cranked it as much as we could, and the battery kind of drained out. Didn't want to really start it yet, because it's all, I want to get crank it good, to get some oil pumping through it, and get all them stuff there pumped up, get all the tensioners pumped up. But at least the oil pump sucked up oil and started pumping, so we know it's going to create oil pressure. So I guess that's that. We just got to charge the battery and crank it some more. Alright, we're going to start it. We got it all back together. Been working on it for hours here, and we did a lot of cranking and charged the battery up. We went ahead and put everything back on it to just button it all up, just put some water in it and stuff, and just been buttoning up things. And we figured, well, if we got a problem, we might as well just put it all back together and see what we were going to test it, but we decided just to go ahead and button it all up, except for the air cleaner, of course, and give it another test. Just start it with it all back together and everything, instead of having the valve covered off and everything. And so this will be the first start. Hissing noise you see from the air thing's open. So we're going to check it for leaks. Seems like it's running good. And we're just going to check it for leaks and see what we got here so far. But it was a pain in the butt to do this work. Or check your heater or oil light coming on. Well, you don't hear no clatter, so something's pumping up. A little smoke on there, that's from that oil on there. What is the light? What light you got on?
Engine light.
The check engine? Well, that's probably clear up. Not the oil light.
No, but why is that burning so much?
Because we got oil all over the damn place. But it's not the oil light.
Huh?
Oh, probably because the air cleaner's off. Okay, we're gonna finish buttoning this thing up. All right, turn it off. We're gonna finish buttoning this thing up and put the air filter back on it and everything. And so I guess the problem was the oil pump, because now we got oil. We sat there and we cranked it and cranked it and cranked it, and pumped it all up real good. That's probably why it started right off real good. And so the diagnostic was the oil pump failed. That's what that trash was in that I don't know where that trash come from in that bypass, but it wasn't pumping no oil at all. So once we get that oil pump on there, it was fine. Pumped it right out of there real good. So we're gonna finish it up. I guess I don't know. I guess I'm gonna yeah, I'll put an end video on it once we get it all cleaned up and everything. Tomorrow in the morning, we're gonna drive it, and But I guess that's it, huh? For now. Alright, we got it all back together. Did a little test drive, made sure no leaks or nothing. But we turned the AC on, and we have an AC clutch squeaking. And we took the clutch off and cleaned it. It looks like it had some wear on it, but it's squeaking. thing to get it to stop squeaking. So now we got to fix that. But everything else, the motor's running really good and everything. But I guess I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. Okay. We're gonna wrap it up right here. But that was the diagnostics on the oil pump. Was valve. Alright, here's the first test drive of all the new oil pump and everything. You see everything's running real cool and it looks good. Running really smooth.
AC clutch is
yeah, the AC
engaging,
clutch is working, so I don't know, it seemed like it fixed itself. It's one of those things that just fixed itself. I guess it was oily or something. We cleaned it up as best we could. Did have a little bit of wear on it, but you know, it's working good now. Blowing AC, cold AC. Truck is running real smooth. It's all running, no lights on or nothing. It's running really good. And it's just a smooth running truck now. Listen to it.
It's squeaking now.
I don't hear it. It's squeaking a little bit. That's that clutch. It might be because of low battery though also, so because the battery was drained here a little bit. But I guess I'm going to wrap this video up here.
What's that?
That's that clutch again. But yeah, you know, we just got to fix the clutch now. It does have wear on it and it probably needs to be replaced. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here now. That was the problem, was the oil pump on this truck. Smooth.